just rewrite physics. They rewrote reality, and they buried the men who could have freed it. Then they gave you a myth. A genius. A prophet in a lab coat. Albert Einstein. But what if I told you the man they taught you to worship wasn't just a physicist? He was the front man for a new world order. The smiling symbol of a universe you'd never be allowed to understand. They say space bends. Time stretches. Gravity isn't a force, it's geometry. That's the Einstein gospel. But you've never seen space bend. You've never watched time slow. You've seen objects fall. You've measured weight. You've felt magnetism, charge, acceleration. Einstein's world is math without mechanics. It only works if you inject it with dark matter, dark energy, black holes, space-time warping, invisible concepts that have never been touched, tasted, or verified. When one patch fails, they add another. When the numbers don't add up, they create more dimensions, more darkness, more fantasy. And if you dare question any of it, you're a denier. A crank. A heretic. But before Einstein, the universe was electric, vibrant, and free. Nikola Tesla, he didn't theorize it. He built it. Radiant energy. Wireless power. Infinite frequency. He called Einstein's theories a beggar's dream. They cut his funding. Destroyed his lab. He died alone in a hotel room. His notes were seized by US agents within hours. James Clerk Maxwell, the father of electromagnetism. His original equations described a living, dynamic ether. They were rewritten after his death. Simplified. Sanitized. Stripped of the ether to make room for relativity. Dayton Miller, he repeated the famous Michelson-Morley experiment, and unlike them, he found an ether drift. Movement? Direction? Proof space wasn't empty. Einstein dismissed it. No replication was allowed. Georges Signac, he built an experiment that proved absolute rotation, violating relativity directly. Today's GPS systems rely on his effect. But Einstein gets the credit. All buried. Not because they were wrong, but because they were dangerous. Their models led to free energy, decentralized power, and independent thought. Einstein's model led to dependence on authority, mathematical priesthood, and blind faith in invisible constructs. So why was he chosen? Because Einstein didn't just reshape physics, he became its global spokesman. A Zionist. A Jewish intellectual icon. He was promoted by post-war elites as a beacon of international reason. A perfect poster boy for the world they were building. No borders. No nations. No sovereign science. Einstein openly called for a one-world government. He supported global institutions that would override local law, national will, and cultural tradition. And when he arrived in America, they built him a throne. The Institute for Advanced Study, funded by elite Jewish banking families, gave Einstein a position without a lab, without students, without experiments. He lived out his life in academic royalty, inside a modern-day castle in Princeton. Untouchable. Undisputed. And unchallenged. They erased the ether. They dismissed electricity as a secondary force. They turned the universe into an abstract equation, something only approved minds could interpret. And if your theory didn't match theirs, you were blacklisted, defunded, ridiculed, or erased from history. Einstein wasn't chosen because his model worked best. He was chosen because it locked the door. No ether. No universal energy. It locked the door. No ether. No universal energy. No spiritual mechanics. No spiritual mechanics. No creative force. Just cold math. Obedience to the chalkboard. And blind trust in the priesthood. This wasn't the triumph of science. It was the installation of a new religion. So unspin the narrative. Dig up the buried mines. Reclaim the models that worked, the ones grounded in reality, not fantasy. Einstein wasn't the end of genius. He was the beginning of the gatekeeping. A brilliant man but a useful one. And in the hands of the system, brilliance becomes control. Unspin it. Break the spell. And take back the universe.